What's up, traders? Today we are going to talk about my biggest losses. They were big. They're not recently because I don't ever lose anymore. Ever. I'm kidding. In the beginning, I took two big losses, and I have never repeated that ever again. They were definitely a lesson learned. I was brand new. I had traded before, but I was fiddling in it, just in and out, here and there. Sometimes I'd hop in, or someone would talk about something. I would see something on Yahoo News, and I would just try my hand in it. Nothing serious. So at the beginning of me getting serious, I started reading on them. I was instantly attracted to ETFs. I just like the way they move, and they're easy to trade as far as what I think. I thought it then. I still think it now. But why I say one of the worst things you can do as a trader in the beginning is get lucky, because that will build you up and kick you right in the nuts. That it is devastating. So if you're brand new to trading and you're losing right off the bat, I think you're doing good. You're off to a good start because you have a very realistic idea of what can happen before you build your account up. I jumped in. It was a gold ETF I was trading, and it happened to be in a channel, a horizontal pattern to the T. This thing is bouncing off almost to the quarter. I mean, it is. I'm amping my account up fast. I get in with a small amount. We're talking, God, I don't want to say an exact amount. It was a couple $100, and I want to say 2 or 3. And I was really just going to, I know it's percentage growth. I was all about it. And anyway, I am in and out, buying, selling. I wasn't even shorting. I was waiting for it to come back down. I'd buy in again. And I kept doing that. And man, so I grew my account very quickly. And it just stayed in this channel for the longest time. It was so predictable. So I thought I was amazing. I couldn't lose. I am on this streak. It wasn't a week long. It was longer than that. And I'm hammering this out. I couldn't lose. So it gets down to the time again. This is where I catch a loss. I didn't understand the pattern yet. I knew it was a horizontal pattern. I didn't know what to look for as far as the break of pattern. The most important part. It is so easy to make money in this game. It's so hard to keep money in this game because everybody has that gambling mentality where they think it's going to just keep going up. They think they're doing good. It's just going to keep going. What's going to stop them? And I was in it. So my $300 got amped up quick. It hits this, I'm trying to think what price point we were at. It was, we're going to say $50. I was buying at 50, selling at 55. I do know that. I don't know if it was 50 or 60. I'm in and out this one at 50, in at 50, out at 55, like clockwork. It goes down to 50. I'm thinking, I'm going to get in this, but I'm going to add some more. So I put $500 in again. Goes down to $49.80 something. And I'm thinking, wow, they're even giving me a chance to buy even more at even cheaper. So I put in another $500 and I buy in. I'm all in every time I put this $500 in. And it gets even cheaper. Yeah, we're at $48.50 at this point. I'm thinking, or $49.50. And yes, I'm pumped. I'm even more excited. Another $500. It hasn't even registered in my head that this thing is on its way down. All I'm thinking is it's going to turn around. It's going to hit 55. Except now I have a lot more in my account. Because why would I just keep playing with little money when I could make so much more? It hits 48. I'm in at another 500. At this point, my $200-$300 is now $3,500 for $4,000. I ended up being at $4,000 before I cut losses, but I cut losses at 47 because it just kept going down, and my losses went from a little bit to a lot more to a whole lot more and a whole lot more on top of that. So for $4,000, I was down both of my trades. I think this one was down 500. It wasn't 6, but it was pushing it. Because I remember in my head, I've had 2 big losses. This was one of them. This is my first one. I was down about $1,000, and when you have 4,000 as your total account, that's devastating. So that one crushed me. I had a buddy do the same thing. He just held it forever. He quit trading, turned his phone off. That was it. It eventually went back up, and he broke even. But that's a totally different story because I was already on top before he ever got back. So that's why you just never bag hold. The second one, after that, I hate making the same mistake twice. Absolutely hate it. I've never made that mistake again. I will, if something breaks a pattern, I'm out. That's it. So I still have the 3,000 in my account at this time, and I'm in another one. This is, I don't trade these, but this is a low cap stock. This is a very cheap one. So I'm buying it again, catches this channel. $1.60 to $1.65. Sometimes it'd push to $1.70, but I'm selling it before it hits that. And at this time, I'm in it. I want to say I was in it 12 to 1,500 shares. So each penny is a considerable amount for me for my account. I'm making quite a bit, and I'm in it again. And nothing actually ever broke. It stayed in this channel for a while. And while it stayed in this channel, I locked in a $400 loss in 5 minutes. It was, I don't know, I wanted to break my phone. I just kept saying what? I didn't know where I was at. I didn't know if I was going to do something crazy that I was going to regret and need bail money for. It was not a good loss. At first, I thought I was doing good. I cut losses. So I'm in this thing. This is my first taste of manipulation. The banks do manipulate stuff, and it was a stop loss hunt, where a bank will sell a huge order, trigger that loss, it dips the price down, dips it down just enough because everybody has that made up 1% stop loss, and you watch this thing just landslide in under a minute. At this time, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm so confident in this trade. Even the fundamentals were good on this trade. It was a medical company that did cancer research. So it's at $1.60, and I checked my phone, and had I checked my phone 5 minutes later, I would have been all right. I wasn't using a stop loss. I was just confident in it. But this thing, I checked my phone, is at $1.25, and at 1,500 shares, that's $400 for me. And this thing is showing no signs of slowing down. It was just a wall, just jumped off a cliff. I'm freaking out. I was like, man, this thing's headed to zero. Well, this thing's delisted. This is weird. I am selling this now. I sell it at $1.25, and not even 60 seconds later, it's back at $1.60. That is where I didn't know if I wanted to break my phone, pass out, stand there like a statue for the rest of the day, because I just wasn't sure what in the actual... I wasn't sure what just happened. That was a new one for me. I locked in a $400 loss, and that sucked. I just lost almost my account. I mean, again, that was I had $4,000 total. I'm down to $3,000 now. I have made so much money, and then I just out of nowhere I take these huge losses, and that made me question, what am I even doing? Like, is trading even for me? I definitely hadn't caught on to my emotions yet. I did not know that was way too big for me. And I panic sold. I sold right at the bottom. Of course, I mean, being a new trader, I didn't see it coming, so all I had to do was learn from this. And I learned a lot because that's never happened again. So now I love stop loss hunts. You see these giant candles down, and everyone gets so bent out of shape because I do have a stop loss on. These candles, these bank manipulations, will break it right out of the pattern and shoot it right back up because they're selling a huge order. It dips the price down, and everybody's just selling. They have all these automatic fills set for their stop loss. And when you sell it, it drops the price. The bank will instantly buy back in at a cheap price, ride it back up. So they now have the best entry out of everyone in there. So learning from that, I almost lost my train of thought. I love those now because my stop loss gets triggered and I get a notification. That's the best thing in the world, because if that happened again, I would have had my stop loss set at a we'll say I was in $1.60, had to set it at $1.40, whatever the number is. I get my notification that my stop loss triggered, and I just took a loss. Everybody else gets so bent out of shape, they're freaking out, they just took a loss. I literally just watch it, and I wait for it to bottom out because I know what's coming, and I get right back in. And it's, if you don't know what you're looking for, it is flirting with revenge trading. But I get right back in, right at the bottom, and ride it all the way back up, and I now have the same entry, or close to the same entry as the banks. So all they did was give me an awesome entry. My money's right back. So it's in. This isn't a lesson. This is a conversation. As I say, it's important to know what that is. But it really is. And I want to go over these losses with you guys, just for the simple fact that no matter what anyone teaches you, you could take all the classes in the world, you can know what's coming, you can know what's there. Until it physically happens to you, you won't really know it. And that's why everyone I help, I tell them, I can tell you everything, I can show you everything, but a lot of it is just experience. Your biggest goal as a new trader is to just not lose your money and get discouraged. Stay in there, keep it small, learn it, because as you watch these charts, you understand their characteristics and how they move. That's when you'll be an experienced trader, and that's when you'll make the right moves. You're not emotional because you know what's going on. You have a pretty good idea what's going to happen. To take away from this, if that happens, it happens. Losses are a part of the game. It's only a true loss if you don't learn from it and repeat it. So take a page from my book. Don't get emotional about it. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. I have been in a few manipulation trades, or trades that were manipulated, and the only time I've ever panic sold and locked in a loss like that was that very first one. And just like that other breakup pattern, it has not happened again. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Hopefully anyone can take something out of this. I do still lose occasionally. I don't want to say I'm perfect, but I'm pretty close to it. I don't really lose that often. But I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm doing. I still trade pretty conservatively. And when I lose, it's nothing to even shake a stick at. I'm not worried. I'm just in the next trade. So, again, if you have any questions, get at me, let me know. And let's lock in profits, not losses.